Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another bar by bar analysis on this channel. Today is March 14th, 2022, and I just want to get right into trading today. I personally did not trade today. I was busy working over the weekend. I got back relatively late last night, and this morning I slept in. So this is my first time looking at the chart. I haven't drawn anything on the chart. I'm doing this clean from the very beginning to see how I would have analyzed the day. So as we normally start, we have a level of resistance here at the top for pre-market hours and a level of support here down at the bottom. These are just indications that I draw in at the beginning of the day to get an idea of where prices are, what prices are looking like in pre-market hours. And from how we can see it, let's change it to red here. From what we can see, we look like we're in a trading range. Prices coming up, down, up and down. Um, Around this 21 bar 21 EMA. So we also have a 200 EMA on the chart just for situational awareness to give us an idea of where prices have been trending. And after the past few days, it looks like we've been in a pretty nice downtrend. So we could see a continuation of that downtrend, or we could see prices reverse. We'll let price action let us know and go from there. So right off the bat, drawing in a level of resistance and support, and then I start looking at channels. I start seeing kind of trends start to form. So I want to draw in some tight channels here just by eyeing it out a little bit. You can see a little trading range form, a little breakout at the top, failed breakout. Prices reverse, hold nice at this EMA as prices come down with the close below the EMA, and they continue to push back down to the bottom of this range. So started at the bottom, worked our way at the top, and then came back down to the bottom. And price opens 8:30 Central Time. And what do we have here? So we had this channel moving down. We had a break. Price is coming up to test this EMA. They broke above for a little bit and they pushed back below EMA. So really no trades off the bat that I see. Um, we'll just go bar by bar and see what prices tell us as we progress throughout the day. So prices are kind of holding here at the bottom of this range, but it's still a little too early to tell what prices are going to do. Based on analysis of this trading range, we're anticipating sometime throughout the early morning or afternoon for prices to reverse and come back up to the EMA. So that's just something to consider. But we wouldn't be surprised if prices continue to push below. They break out of this range and they continue down just because of these past few days of prices continuously pushing down, testing these lows and coming back up, trying to push higher, but not being able to. So we continue here. We have a new low, first entry, second entry short, but we're closing above EMA. EMA is starting to flatten out a little bit. I'm not going to take that short. It's too aggressive. It doesn't fit my rules. Some people would have gotten that scalp. Um, let's see here. Another thing I'm noticing is prices came down, tried coming back up to the tried coming back up to the top of this EMA, came back down, made somewhat of a double bottom, came back up, tested this bottom again. So we could be dealing with a little bit of a range here at the bottom based on this price action as we see EMA starting to flatten out. The EMA is holding somewhat in between, in the center of this small trading range that we have here. So just drawing that in for situational awareness. We have a new high. Prices move first entry long, and prices pushing below this level of support that we had drawn in. So we had a new high for at the high here. First entry long, prices coming back down for a second entry long. It's an aggressive failed breakout. I don't like trading it though. I'm not going to go counter trend. Since about 5 in the morning here, we saw prices continuously trading down, prices coming back up, trying to test this EMA. It pushes above, but it looks like we could be pushing lower. So it's an aggressive second entry long that some people could argue for. I wouldn't take it. It works for some people. You do have room to the EMA, so it scalps out for some people. Prices come back up to the top to test this breakout area. We do have a new low, first entry short, and prices continue to break lower. As we get some more data here, I start thinking about these trends, these trend channels that we have drawn in. So prices broke down into this trading range for just a little bit, and they were most likely to push down and out of this trading range. So that's something that I'm going to draw in. Another potential one that people could draw is maybe nah, that prices don't fit well in there. We don't like that. We want prices fitting nice and even. New low, first entry short, prices come back up. And second entry short isn't triggering. We're not looking to go short this high, this far away from the trading range. I'm sorry, this far away from the EMA. Another reason why is because if you can see, and obviously train your eyes over time, but we did have this nice move up, first swing down bounces, and that's where I get that trend line from. Um, but we did have a break of this channel, so we don't want to do anything just yet. Second entry short isn't triggering, and there's the trigger of that second entry short. It slowly works its way down for people that are aggressive and are going to counter trend trade, which I don't recommend. You would get that scalp. Prices, a little bit of congestion here, overlapping bars as well. New high, first entry long. Prices come back down to EMA, nice signal bar to go long. The only issue I see is these bars are starting to get a little bit congested, right? But this is the other thing I'm thinking. Prices came down, broke low. People could have even drawn, something like this maybe. Short-term trend down, break, clean break up to the EMA, made double new low, another new low, and then prices are reversing back above the EMA. A little bit of price congestion here. So prices could just be catching up. More buyers are going to flood into the market. Prices could push up. If we extend this trading range a little bit, which I don't recommend doing too early, but we do have prices come back down and almost test this bottom support area. Prices are holding above EMA. It's an aggressive one. Um, Depending on how aggressive of a trader you are, I wouldn't be upset if people took this one because we also had this upward trend break, a little bit of consolidation, looking for that new high, strong signal bar off that EMA, and this next bar would have printed. Your stop would have been one tick below the signal bar, and if you entered, let's see, 925, you got a one tick retracement to 9. You would have been out at 12. That's 3 points. So it's an aggressive trade. Some people would have gotten that. But again, with these overlapping bars, that's probably a trade you'd want to stay out of. I don't think that's going to work every time. And then prices breaking down below EMA, and now when we see this type of price action of bars pushing down below the EMA and then quickly pushing up and then quickly pushing down, we got to be very careful here. This is just continued congestion. We could have a two-tiered trading range here, bouncing off this level of support. Prices pushing back up above EMA. We need some consistency before we start looking at trades. We have a new high, first entry long. We also have a new low, first entry short, second entry short, looking for some sort of trigger, which we're not getting, and we're not looking at short. We're not trying to pick a top here. Prices started down here, traded up into a trading range, as short and as small as that may be. So most likely we're going to trade up and out of a trading range. And that looks like what's happening here. Some people may recommend even drawing a bit of an uptrend that's holding prices. Small break again, looking for some more data before we make any solid trades. We have a new high here, first entry long, second entry long triggered, but we're not terrible signal bar, not close to the EMA. Not looking to take any significant trades. Now, as we draw these short-term trend lines, the other thing we need to notice is all this data we have. Some people may have already noticed it, but we do have an uptrend moving from this new low. Price is working somewhat like this, right? We have a first swing down, touching. Prices come back up to this midline, come back down, touch for a third time. So that confirms this trend line that we have drawn in. Price is continuing to work up, new high, and really no trade. First entry long. Okay, so the other thing is we still have the short-term trend, right? So with the short-term trend had its break, and it might be kind of hard to depict. Mm, It might be hard to depict, but maybe if I extend this a little bit. Break of this upward trend, looking for a new high. Prices make that new high. So this uptrend has played out. We could be looking for a reversal. Um, but we'll just have to continue to see what prices do. We have this new high first entry long. Prices come up for a second entry long. People might trade a failure, but I'd want a nice solid signal bar to help us get into that failure. And that's just personal preference. Not all people care about what the signal bar looks like when they're trading failures. But in a situation like this, I would just like it for more peace of mind. So I don't feel it's as aggressive of a trade. Um, let's see. Okay, so and we also saw we do have a nice clean break of this upward trend that we had drawn in. Here's our short-term trend, and prices break this overall. So we have a break, potentially looking for a new high here. Just something to keep in mind. New low, first entry, second entry short, but we're above EMA, not looking to trade that. Prices respect the EMA as they come back down. So this is a second entry short failure, which people could trade. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to pause the recording for just a second. Let me think where I was at. New low, first entry short, second entry short failure. This is one of those moments that people could look at this, right? And I really shouldn't have fast forwarded. I gotta be careful with that because I'm not trying to cheat. I want to be able to analyze these things in the moment. So second entry short, we're not looking to go short. We're not looking to go short above the EMA. If we have this nice uptrend and prices are trying to test this EMA, we need to be very cautious about taking a second entry short like this. So we're sitting on our hands, we're waiting. When this bar prints, yes, it may be a little bit doji, but some people could argue this could be worth trading long. When you combine the overall context of how we've been analyzing this price action, right? So with this confirmed trend line moving up, we had a what you can see is almost like a loss of momentum in a way of this uptrend. So that could be cautious. That could lead people to be a little bit cautious of going long here. But at the same time, we did have three touches of this upward trend line. Nice clean break. Attempting for a new low, possibly on the short-term trend, but we can't forget about finding the overall um, new overall high for this uptrend. So these are some things you got to be able to analyze in the moment, and some people are going to think about it differently than others. The way that I'm thinking about this, we had a clean. We're looking for an overall new high, new low, first entry short, second entry short. Prices holding above EMA failure with the closure at the top. I would have loved to have a better signal bar. I would have loved if this was a little bit more bullish, right? But that could be a trade that people take looking for an overall new high. Um, that being said, prices at the top here pushing below EMA, coming back up above EMA. We could be seeing potentially a trading range. Not to mention the overall structure of the day has been a trading range, and we'd be taking a trade in the middle of this trading range. So we got to be very cautious and careful with that. This could be considered an aggressive trade, but if you have a nice signal bar here, you do still have room to the top, right? The top of these prices, you still have room at 228. You've got 875 points worth of space. If you're just looking for, 1 point, 2 points, you do have a little bit of space there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that trade. Um, And if, and as aggressive as it was, 4-5, this is what I mean is you have room to the top here. You would have been out even if you were trading 2 points. I think even 10 for if you did one tick retracement here, 4, 5, 6, 5. I think you would have been, yeah, you definitely would have been good depending on how big people trade. But with the overall context, I can understand why prices would reverse back down to the EMA. So a little bit of aggressive trade, but um, that's something that people could look at taking. Now, okay, as bars continue to print, we have a new high. First entry long, second entry long, right? We traded the failure, got the point. We could be looking to take a second entry long here with everything we just talked about. But with the way the price action is working right now with these overlapping bars, I'm hesitant about going long at this point. This was an aggressive trade enough. This one we could be, is obviously just as aggressive. Prices come back down, close. It almost looks like just below the EMA or at least around this EMA, and then prices push back up. I'd personally want to see a higher low. I'd want to see prices push higher, prices hold at EMA, and I'll take a higher low. I'm I wouldn't take this trade, but I could see how people could, right? That's an aggressive trade that people are going to take, and I should probably change this one to aggressive. It's probably more aggressive as I talk through it. Prices push up, you would have gotten that point, even with that aggressive trade. You still have room up to these highs, and as prices kind of chop along here, a little bit of overlapping bars. So I'm saying we could be looking at a small range, right? We want to incorporate highs, lows. When you draw in this range, you see, hey, I'm taking prices not only in this overall big trading range, but even in this small trading range, you could be looking at taking aggressive trades. So just be very careful. Analyze. Obviously, everyone has their own method of doing things. Um, Everyone has their own rules and they'll follow it their own way, but that's just overall what I see. And I've I shouldn't have pushed up here, but this is the higher low I'm talking about. So back here, when I was saying I feel comfortable with a higher low, prices would have pushed a little bit, came back down, another signal bar, higher low. This low is higher than this one, which is higher than this one, which is higher than this one. So prices are slowly pushing up. Prices are holding neatly above EMA. We could be in a bit of a trading range, but we still have room to the highs, right? We still have room to the highs here. So this is another trade I probably would have taken. That higher low is what I was talking about back here. And it would have worked. You probably would have gotten lucky with a runner. That would have been a little bit nice as prices come up. We're not looking to go short here. A little bit of consolidation, looking for prices to catch up as the EMA continues to push up. And what else do I see? As we get more data, I start seeing potentially something like this. You see how price is holding at the top there, holding at the bottom. New high. Okay, let's see what we have here. We had this new low. First entry short coming down, second entry short. Not looking to go short, but we could trade a failure. What does this next bar look like? Not good. Overlapping bars nearing the top of this trading range, but prices are holding above EMA. This is an aggressive one that people could trade. The bar, I think, is a little bit too undecided, right? It's not necessarily a doji bar because there is a little bit of movement in there, even if it's only, I think there's a movement of like 4 ticks in there. So it's still it's kind of a bullish bar, but it's like a bullish, undecided bar. I don't think prices know exactly what they want to do yet. Some people are going to say, yes, I'm an aggressive trader. I like that setup at the EMA with the overall context. Um, they're going to trade that. Some other people are going to say, I'm going to let prices play out a little bit, look for a higher low, just like we did right here. Um, that's the trade I see. Whether you're going to take it or not, that's up to you. It never triggers though, so you would never have been in that trade, but it's still something worth noting. As prices continue to push down, now prices are cutting through the EMA. Prices are not respecting that EMA. We could be looking at a downtrend here. So we start drawing tentatively, what do we see? New low. new low. And what are we seeing? I mean, we saw prices starting at the top here or trying to reach the top but couldn't quite make it. So what is that telling us as prices continue to push down? That's saying, hey, overall, there's a lot of bearish momentum still in the day. We could continue to push lower um, because prices didn't reach the top of this level of resistance from pre-market hours. So prices could continue to keep pushing down. And as they push down, we adjust our trend if we need to widen it just a little bit here. Got a downtrend moving. And prices continue to make new lows. You're not trying to trade long, right? We're not trying to go counter trade, even if it's this second entry long little solid bullish bar with room back to the EMA. We're not trying to trade those because some you're going to win and some you're going to lose. And if you're playing that sort of game in the long run, you're going to break even or you're going to lose money, and it's not worth taking those trades. So, I just advise against trading counter trend. If you're in this for the long run, we want just high quality setups, high probability setups at key entry points, and that's just my take on that. Prices really continue to push down strongly. This could be considered an overshoot, or there's a bigger trend at play if prices continue to reach new lows. Now, that being said, we're at the bottom of this trading range now. See, we're at this level of support from before. So we have to be very cautious, and we need to see how prices continue to play here. So far, I didn't see any trades really um, in this channel here. Overshoot, prices continuing to, okay, now what we see is prices start to overlap. It looks like it's a double test of this bottom level. So prices are finding a level of support. Let's see if it holds, right? Our price is going to hold, our price is going to continue pushing down. We need to let things play out a little bit more. I'm hesitant to extend the channel because we have this overshoot. This channel could be wrong, you know. We could have more short-term channels in here that we need to be drawing as we continue to get steeper price action. Prices traded down into this level of consolidation into this trading range, letting EMA kind of pick up a little bit, catch up, and then prices push down and out of this trading range. Consolidation, failed breakouts. And some people are going to say, okay, failed breakout, we kind of have a little bit of price action here. Prices are going to come back up. We have room to the EMA. I'm going to go long here. I just don't recommend it. But people are going to do what they're going to do. Would they have gotten the scalp? Absolutely. They would have gotten it this time. Doesn't mean they're going to get it next time. In this game, we don't want to gamble. We want to try and stack the odds on our side with overall context and understanding of price action and the charts. So that's my take on it. Okay, as we get more data here, we got to see. We have to incorporate all of this price action. We want prices holding neatly in between. And so when I draw this bigger trend in here, it we get rid of this old one, right? And that holds a lot nicer than the previous one I drew. So maybe prices pushed a little bit out. There maybe a little bit of an overshoot, but prices continue to hold coming down. Nice touches off the top, a few touches off the bottom. This midline is holding nice. So I like this one a lot better. I like this overall nice downtrend a lot better. And that's nice and established. It's at this point it would have been confirmed. We would see, yep, that's definitely the channel. Prices continue to push back up. Okay, now we have a break. Prices kind of consolidated for a bit with overlapping bars. Break of this overall downtrend that we had in play. So we are looking for an overall new low according to price action rules. We had new low first entry, second entry short below this bar. That's not a good signal bar to go short on. But prices come back up, test the EMA. Prices are respecting the EMA. While we can't go short here, I would consider a lower high, right? But we'll have to see what prices do. EMA is really flat, overlapping bars. Be very cautious about trying to go short, even if you see this bar, right? be very cautious about trying to go short below a bar like this. That's not a lower high. Prices continue to push up before coming back down. So be cautious as prices continue to trend. Prices are pushing up. See, this is one of those situations where, hey, that's a nice bearish bar. We're looking for a down, a new extreme. I'm going to go short below there. And I feel so confident that it's going to go short. I'm going to enter a tick early just to make sure that my order is in there. And so people will enter early. It never actually triggers because prices never push below this. They don't push below this bar, below this signal bar, but people would be in this. And then they get stopped out and they wonder, oh, damn, why did I get stopped out? I was so confident prices were going to go where I thought. So continue to be disciplined and stick with your rules. As prices continue to trend, we are still looking, and this again, this is what people think, right? They think it's going to go, I know it's going to go down, so I'm going to enter early. They enter early, they get stopped out, prices reverse and go exactly where they thought it was going to go. It happens all the time. It's happened to me. And I know I'm not the only one that experienced something like this. So stick with the price action. Don't take aggressive setups. Let prices work and you do the best at analyzing the best you can. Analyzing price action the best you can. New high, first entry long. Okay, we got some weird things going on here. So we have first entry long, second entry long if it triggers above this bar, but we also have a new low, first entry short, second entry short if it triggers below this bar. It's an inside bar. Don't even try trading long or short here, especially with how flat the EMA is. By this point, people should be recognizing, hey, this is a little bit of a trading range that could be developing. Prices pushing up and then immediately pushing down. Not looking to take any trades here. Possible short downtrends. I don't like drawing bigger channels like that. When we're in trading ranges, I usually like the one-liners. It looks clean. So we had new high, first entry long. Okay, prices continue to push down. And this is what I was mentioning earlier, right? Look how much farther we're starting to push down than we did before. Prices tried coming back up, reaching the top of this trading range, couldn't quite do it, and then prices push below EMA, and they've been holding relatively nicely below EMA. Unfortunately, no really high quality setups. Even looking post analysis, there aren't many trades off this level of resistance that I'd take. Prices are far from EMA, coming back up. Prices trading up and down below EMA, not looking to take any trades there. We traded down into this little trading range here, and now we're trading down and out of this trading range. So that's what I see. The other thing is once we start getting more price action here, we get bigger swings. That's when I start drawing maybe something like this. Break and new low. So that's telling us, okay, prices, this downtrend has played out, right? At least at this point, but we don't know that for sure. We need to let prices continue playing out. We had a new high for this swing. First entry long, second entry long, back up to the EMA. As we get more data here, we start making new lows, right? So this downtrend didn't play out. We just had the wrong trend in place. It's actually, got to be careful about making it wide. This is just, we need more price action. We need to see more. 1, 2 touch, 3 touch. That kind of holds it. Doesn't confirm it, but it gives us something to look at. New low, first entry short, prices come back up. Second entry short, strong bearish bar. This is okay. You see how prices gotta be able to see stuff like this. So new low, first entry short, second entry short, prices holding below EMA. Some people are gonna take this. It's too aggressive. especially because when you draw in this little trading range here, you'd be going short into the lows of this trading range and overall lows of the day. So I'm not going to take that trade. I'd want a easier lower high. Some people would have gotten that, but I think it's just a little too risky with this. I mean, if you have room to the lows, 4168, there might be like 2 points worth of space there. So some people could maybe argue, hey, that's an aggressive short. Price is holding neatly below EMA. It's tried to break out. It hasn't been able to. We probably have room to go lower. When we ask ourselves, okay, as prices continue to go lower, where's our price target? Where are prices going? Right? Where's the next level of support? And at least when I zoom out here, there is price action here earlier. What day was this? March 9th, it looks like. March 9th, March 8th. I don't know where prices are going, you know. This is where people start utilizing measured moves. Look at that big move there. And starting at the highs here, we could look for a price target around 413875 measured moves. So if some people have that analysis in place, then people could argue, yeah, that's a good place to go short. But I'm not sure if I would take that. It's aggressive. Some people are going to take it. Price come back down, continue to test EMA as prices move more. And as we get more data here, we start seeing, okay, let's extend this, let's widen this channel a little bit. That's a lower high that you get, but it's a little far from EMA, so I'm not going to take that. Price is finding a little bit, overlapping bars a bit. Coming back up, we have a new low. First entry long and new low, so prices are continuing to push. This downtrend isn't reaching the prices aren't reaching the bottom of this channel. This is something to consider. We had new high, first entry long, and the second entry, first entry long, and then first entry long, prices push back down, and then second entry long is at least printing with this indicator. Break of this downtrend, attempting to make a new low, or at least we think it's going to make a new low. New low, first entry short, second entry short, that's above EMA. Not looking to trade that, but I'm going to consider a lower high if prices come back up and test. Prices can come up and test this EMA. See if this was a nice bearish bar. That's where I would have. That's probably where I would have gone in short. New high, first entry long, second entry long trigger could be a failure. It looks like it fails. Okay. New low, first entry short, second entry short. Very bearish bar. Still looking for an overall new low. I do see prices ranging a little bit. But this could be an aggressive one that people take. You still have room to the bottom here. We are still looking for a new low, but EMA is flattening out. We're ranging up and down below trading range. Prices coming up to test the top of this trading range, coming back down. Prices attempt to push back up, but prices hold. If that triggers, that's going to be an aggressive trade that some people can go short on. And people would have gotten that scalp. Again, you do have room to the lows. And we are looking for an overall new low. Let's see if we get it. And there's that new low. There it is. So we get that new low. So this overall downtrend has played out according to price action rules. On top of that, just to kind of confirm, we had this break and then we had two legs to a new low. Was it an exact measured move? No, but we had one move up, two move down to make that new low. So the downtrend should have played out. Failed breakout, prices kind of pushing back up into this trading range that we have drawn in. New low, first entry short. Yeah, first entry short. We also have a new high, first entry long, second. Okay, we have new high, first entry long, second entry long at the bottom of this trading range. This is where I would consider I would go long here. Let's see, I'll kind of explain why in a second. Um, Downtrend has played out already. We had a break. We're dealing with a little bit of a trading range. Um, we had our new low here, right? When this swing, when this price action swing happened, this is a higher low. So these lows, this low here is higher than this one back here. Downtrend has played out. We're at the bottom of this trading range that we have drawn in. So what are we thinking? That prices are going to come back up to the top of this trading range. I would enter with a one tick retracement. So I'd enter at 1580. How does the next bar print? We never trigger. So we don't trigger above this bar. So I take that out. And I'm not going to go long below. I'm not going to go long above this bearish bar. So unfortunately, I'm not going to do that. New low, first entry short from here. First entry short prices come back up, and no second entry short triggers, but prices move exactly where I thought they would. I just didn't get an entry on that, unfortunately. And there's that second entry short. So um, this is the new low. First entry short prices come back down, come back up for a second entry short off the top of this trading range. That's an aggressive one, just because the downtrend already played out. Um, but that's an aggressive one that people could take off this key entry point here. Prices come down, you would have scalped out for sure with how far that goes. 375 to 125. So even if you're going for 2, 3, definitely 2.5 points, I think you're gonna get that scalp. And then prices come back up, and now we're dealing with a little bit of overlapping bars, a little bit of consolidation. EMA is pushing up and it's catching up to these prices, so prices are gonna try pulling out here. And this could be a failed breakout. We're looking for prices to come back down into this trading range, right? And they slowly are, but as prices come back, EMA is pulling up as well. Nice strong bearish bar below EMA. So EMA is basically not being respected at all right now. It's just moving up and down. When you see the EMA not being respected, prices are moving up and down below this, the EMA. You're dealing with the trading range, so you don't have to pay as much respect to the EMA because the prices aren't paying that much respect either. Just got to be cautious around those areas. All right, prices coming back up. We had a new high, first entry long, new low, first. Oh, where's the new low at? This is the new low. First entry short, looking for a second entry short. Second entry short triggers, and there's a failure there. And now prices are starting to respect the EMA a little bit. And what else do we see? We see prices moving. Might be hard to draw this, but I start to see this, right? Prices kind of moving up. Second entry short failure. Some people are gonna see this as an aggressive trade to go long. I'd probably agree with people. It's a pretty big bar, but we're making higher lows in an uptrend after a downtrend played out. So never triggers. If people kind of left that in there, left that trade in there, they would have triggered above that bar. They would have been in this trade 1.5 to 3.5. That's 2 points right there. People would have scalped out. I probably would have stayed in that trade, to be honest. I would have maybe came back a little bit, and then as soon as this bar came up um, and triggered above this signal bar, that's when I would have been in the trade. And I would have stayed in there. Prices come back down. New high. First entry, second entry already happened. And then that's the end of the trading day. So I hope everyone got some good trades in for today. Um, you know, I don't know if I would have seen myself getting any losses. I definitely think I would have probably forced some trades, which is never good either. But that's at least the analysis that I saw for today. We never really came back up into this trading range, but it gave us an idea of where prices were going to go. We didn't quite make that measured move that I thought we were going to do. So as prices were consolidating back here, prices could hold on this EMA and continue to push higher. But all right, that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get that notification as soon as these videos are posted. I'm sorry this video is 40 minutes, but at the same time, I'm trying to go as fast as I can and I'm trying to give out a lot of information. Sometimes these videos can just be a little long, but fast forward to a part of the video where you kind of wanted to see my analysis and maybe you had the same thoughts. And if you didn't, let me know in the comments. I appreciate all the feedback I'm getting, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to trading and making a video tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm not going to be available, so I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to post a video on Wednesday, possibly Thursday too, but I do love making these videos. I slowly feel myself getting better at analyzing these charts as the days go on, and I hope that it helps you get better too. So I appreciate everything, and until next time, thanks.